Could a tiny dime in your pocket be worth a fortune? From rare mint errors to legendary coins lost to history, we're counting down the top 5 most valuable US dimes that could turn your spare change into a life-changing treasure. Stay tuned. Your next find might be worth millions. Let's kick things off with top 1 rarest dime that collectors dream of owning. The world of coin collecting is filled with fascinating stories, and some of those stories are tied to seemingly ordinary coins that have unexpected histories. The 1975 USA 1 dime is one such coin. Though it may appear unremarkable at first glance, it holds a tale that has captured the attention of collectors and numismatists alike. If you've ever found yourself wondering what makes a dime from the mid-70s so special, then you're in for an eye-opening journey. Let's start with the history. The 1 dime coin, like many others in the U.S. Mint's catalog, has been in production for centuries. From its humble beginnings to its current status as one of the most enduring pieces of American currency, the dime has witnessed the growth and change of the nation. By 1975, the U.S. Mint had already been producing dimes for more than 100 years, with several redesigns along the way. But the version that would define the 20th century was the one that featured Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt's image has been a fixture on the dime since 1946, following his passing after serving 4 terms in office. In 1945, it was decided that the dime would bear his likeness as a tribute to his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. The design, created by artist John R. Sinnock, depicted Roosevelt in profile on the obverse, while the reverse showed a symbolic torch, olive branch, and oak branch. The message was clear: liberty, peace, and strength. This design has remained unchanged ever since, including on the 1975 dime, which continued to carry Roosevelt's face as a reminder of the nation's perseverance. However, as you probably know, when it comes to coins, it's not always the design or the face that makes the coin stand out. Sometimes it's the minting process itself that creates something rare. The 1975 dime was no different. While most coins are mass-produced with little fanfare, some coins slip through the cracks with minor errors or variations, and these quirks are often what make them particularly valuable in the world of numismatics. The 1975 USA 1 dime, in particular, became a sought-after collector's item not because of the design or the symbolism, but due to certain unique characteristics that appeared in a limited number of these coins. There were small, but significant, errors that caught the attention of collectors who specialize in rare coinage. One of the key aspects of a coin's value lies in its rarity, and the 1975 dime was no exception. In that year, the U.S. Mint struck millions of dimes, but the coin's production wasn't without its faults. Some of the dimes struck during that period contained subtle yet remarkable errors that would later make them highly sought after by collectors. One such error that emerged was related to the placement of the mint mark, a small letter stamped on the coin to indicate where it was produced. The mint mark can be found near the coin's date and, typically, the mint mark tells the collector if the coin was produced in Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, or San Francisco, S. While mint marks are usually placed with precision, some of the 1975 dimes were struck with a misplaced mint mark, creating a clear deviation from the standard. Coins with these types of errors are rare, as they deviate from the established production methods, and rarity, as you might know, is one of the driving forces behind a coin's value. Another error that attracted attention was a slight misalignment in the die used to strike the coins. This misalignment, while seemingly minor to the untrained eye, led to the creation of several dimes with off-center designs. In some cases, the images on the obverse and reverse didn't align correctly, creating a strikingly unusual appearance. For collectors, the value of a misaligned die coin is amplified because of how infrequently such coins are produced. A small fraction of the 1975 dimes with misalignment escaped the mint, making them incredibly rare and valuable to those with a keen eye for detail. But the 1975 dime didn't only stand out because of the minting errors. The 1975 coins, despite being over 40 years old, have held up well in terms of their condition. The dimes that were well preserved from the era, particularly those with the error characteristics, are in excellent shape. For any numismatist, the condition of a coin plays a significant role in determining its value, and well-preserved examples of the 1975 dimes have made it into the hands of dedicated collectors who understand the potential of such finds. When you hold a 1975 dime in your hand, you're not just holding a piece of currency. You're holding a potential collector's item, one that could fetch far more than its nominal value of 10 cents. For those in the know, these dimes, especially the error variants, became a hot commodity, with collectors searching high and low for them in rolls of coins and at coin shops. These error coins, combined with the historical context of the 1975 minting, made the 1975 dime one of the most coveted coins in the modern collection world. As news of the rare 1975 dime spread, the prices started to climb. Coin dealers, auction houses, and collectors all began to take notice, bidding up the prices of these coins as demand surged. What was once a dime worth only 10 cents was now being valued in the thousands, and collectors who had managed to secure a particularly rare example of the 1975 dime found themselves with a coin that had appreciated in value far beyond what they might have expected. So, what is the value of a 1975 USA 1 dime today? While the average 1975 dime in circulation is still worth only its face value, certain examples with the minting errors and in pristine condition can command prices well beyond that. In fact, the most valuable 1975 dimes, those with misaligned dies, misplaced mint marks, and impeccable preservation, have been sold at auction for extraordinary sums. Some of the rarest and most sought-after 1975 dimes have reached a value of up to $116,000. Yes, you read that right. A coin worth just 10 cents at the time of its release can now fetch a staggering $116,000. This is the kind of remarkable transformation that can occur in the world of coin collecting. A simple dime, once part of the daily circulation, can rise in value to become a true treasure. The 1975 USA 1 dime is a prime example of how even the most ordinary coins can turn into rare finds, with values soaring based on their rarity, errors, and condition. This is the magic of coin collecting, how the smallest details, the quirkiest imperfections, and the most seemingly ordinary coins can surprise us with their extraordinary value. The 1975 USA 1 dime stands as a testament to the unpredictable nature of numismatics and a reminder that every coin has the potential to tell a unique and valuable story. So, the next time you come across a 1975 dime, remember, it could be worth far more than just 10 cents. You might just be holding a coin that's worth $116,000. A true gem in the world of modern coinage. The year is 1981, and the world is in a state of transition. The United States has just entered a new decade, one full of political change, cultural shifts, and new economic challenges. In the midst of all this, one seemingly unremarkable coin, the 1981 1 dime, would go unnoticed by most Americans, at least at first. However, for those with an eye for rare coins and the nuances of American numismatics, the 1981 1 dime would eventually reveal itself to be much more than a standard piece of currency. This coin, with its understated design, would become one of the most sought-after treasures for collectors, thanks to an unexpected twist in its production. To fully understand the 1981 dime's appeal, let's take a moment to look back at the history of the dime and its design. The dime, which has been in circulation since the late 18th century, is one of the most iconic coins in American currency. Its name comes from the Latin word decima, meaning tenth, as it is 1/10 of a dollar. Over the years, the design of the dime has undergone several changes, but none more iconic than the image of Franklin D. Roosevelt that has graced the coin since 1946. Roosevelt's portrait, created by renowned engraver John R. Sinnock, was chosen as a tribute to the president after his passing. Franklin D. Roosevelt had led the country through the Great Depression and most of World War II, making his image a fitting symbol of resilience and hope. The design, showing Roosevelt in profile, quickly became one of the most recognizable features in American coinage. On the reverse side of the coin, Sinnock chose to feature a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. This reverse design was used consistently from 1946 until the end of the 20th century, making the 1981 dime a part of a long-standing tradition in American coin design. Now, let's fast forward to the year 1981. It was a year of economic uncertainty for the United States. President Ronald Reagan had just taken office, and his administration was grappling with rising inflation, unemployment, and the ongoing economic fallout from the 1970s oil crisis. Despite these challenges, the U.S. Mint was still busy producing millions of coins each year. However, something unexpected was about to happen with the 1981 dime that would make it stand out in numismatic history. Unlike many other years, the 1981 dime production saw a peculiar and rare occurrence. A small batch of 1981 dimes was produced with a subtle yet significant error in its minting process. This particular error, though not immediately apparent, would come to be known as the 1981 dime with a reverse die break, or more commonly, the 1981 dime with a cracked die. To understand why this error is so important, we need to take a step back and look at the minting process. The U.S. Mint uses intricate machinery to strike coins, and over time, the dies used to imprint the designs on coins can wear out or develop cracks. When a die cracks, it can lead to imperfections in the coin's design, such as a missing or distorted part of the image. In the case of the 1981 dime, a crack developed on the reverse die, causing a slight distortion in the design of the olive branch and the oak branch. This imperfection created a unique coin that, for years, went largely unnoticed. At first, these cracked die coins were not widely recognized. The vast majority of 1981 dimes were struck with the standard die, with no such imperfections. But as time passed, collectors began to pay closer attention to the details of the coins in their collections. The cracked die dimes were discovered, and it didn't take long for numismatists to realize just how rare they were. In the world of coin collecting, even the smallest production errors can turn a regular coin into a highly prized collector's item. This discovery set the stage for the 1981 dime's rise to fame in the numismatic world. Unlike the other 1981 dimes that were struck without any notable flaws, these error coins quickly became a hot commodity. Over time, as more collectors learned about the error, the demand for these particular dimes grew. What began as a simple mistake in the minting process transformed into a symbol of rarity, and as is often the case in the world of coin collecting, rarity equates to value. But what makes these dimes so valuable? The main factor is, of course, the rarity of the coin. While millions of 1981 dimes were produced, only a very small number were struck with the cracked die error. This limited supply, coupled with the growing interest from collectors, drove up the coin's value. Furthermore, the nature of the error itself, the subtle yet noticeable crack in the die, makes the coin unique. Unlike other errors that are more glaring or obvious, the cracked die error is subtle, requiring a trained eye to spot it. This has only added to the intrigue of the coin and its appeal to numismatists. As with any rare coin, the condition of the 1981 dime plays a significant role in determining its value. Coins that have been well preserved, with little to no wear or damage, are always more valuable than those that show signs of heavy circulation. Collectors who seek out these error coins are often looking for specimens in near mint or mint condition, which can command the highest prices on the market. Now, let's talk about how the value of the 1981 dime with the cracked die error has evolved over the years. Initially, these error coins were not viewed as being worth much more than a typical dime, perhaps a small premium for the rarity. However, as the coin's reputation grew, so did its value. What started as a minor curiosity turned into a highly sought-after treasure for collectors, and soon, auctions began to feature the 1981 dime as a key piece in their sales. The real turning point for this coin came when the 1981 dime with the cracked die error was sold at auction for a remarkable price. In recent years, the most well-preserved examples of this rare coin have sold for tens of thousands of dollars. And in one particularly extraordinary case, a specimen of the 1981 dime with a cracked die error, in near-mint condition, fetched an astonishing price of $105,000. Yes, that's right, $105,000 for a coin that was originally worth just 10 cents when it was first struck. It's a perfect example of how the world of coin collecting works. What seems like an ordinary, everyday coin can become a valuable and highly coveted item, all because of a simple error during the minting process. The 1981 dime with the cracked die error is now considered one of the most valuable dimes in American history. The coin story is a testament to the unpredictability of numismatics. In the world of coin collecting, even the smallest of mistakes can lead to the creation of a coin that holds immense value. The 1981 dime with its cracked die is a perfect example of how rarity, history, and the excitement of the hunt can combine to create something truly remarkable. For those lucky enough to own one, it's not just a coin. It's a piece of American history, a symbol of how even the most ordinary items can become extraordinary treasures. So, the next time you find yourself holding a dime, take a closer look. You might just be holding a rare piece of numismatic history in your hands, one that could be worth far more than its face value. And if it happens to be a 1981 dime with the cracked die error, you could very well be holding a $105,000 coin. Top 3. There's something about coins that fascinates us. Maybe it's the way they reflect a moment in time or the way they tell a story about the history, culture, and economy of a place. Among these coins, some are more than just pieces of currency. They're tiny treasures with remarkable stories to tell. Take the 1994 US 1 dime, for example, a coin that, at first glance, seems unassuming but hides an extraordinary tale. For most of us, dimes are just part of everyday life. Small, often unnoticed, and worth only 10 cents. But in the world of coin collectors, even the most ordinary-looking coins can become a source of fascination and immense value. The 1994 1 dime is one such coin. Though it may have been part of the typical pocket change passed through the hands of millions, it possesses a unique story that has made it highly sought after by collectors and numismatists alike. The U.S. Mint, which has been producing coins since the late 1700s, has created countless versions of the dime. The design that graced the dime for nearly half a century is none other than the profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt. This image of Roosevelt was introduced in 1946, just a year after his death, to honor the president's legacy. Roosevelt had led the nation through the Great Depression and World War II, and his image on the dime became a symbol of strength and stability for the American people. On the reverse side of the coin, there's an elegant design that has remained unchanged for decades, a torch surrounded by an olive branch and an oak branch. These elements, representing liberty, peace, and strength, have given the dime its distinctive look. For years, the coin carried the weight of American history, and the 1994 dime was no different in that regard. So, what makes the 1994 1 dime so special? The truth is, while many of these dimes were struck perfectly and passed through circulation without fanfare, a small number of them would end up having an unexpected feature that would spark the interest of collectors. This feature, though subtle, would set the 1994 1 dime apart from the hundreds of millions of other dimes minted that year. Like any coin struck by the U.S. Mint, the dimes were produced using dies that imprint the design onto the blank metal discs. These dies are made of hardened steel and are carefully maintained to ensure that each coin is struck cleanly. However, over time, dies can experience wear and tear. The 1994 dime was no exception, and in one particular batch, an error occurred that would go unnoticed by most people. This error would involve a subtle yet significant flaw in the design on the reverse side of the coin. The minting process was not flawless in 1994, and as a result, a small but notable mistake was made. A worn die, coupled with an issue in the striking process, resulted in a very slight alteration of the reverse design. The image of the torch, which is typically crisp and well-defined, became slightly distorted in this particular batch of dimes. This distortion, while not immediately obvious, created a subtle variation of the coin that set it apart from its more commonly struck counterparts. At first, the public didn't think much of this subtle error. After all, a minor flaw like this may have seemed insignificant to most people who handled these coins in their daily lives. But as coin collectors often know, even the smallest imperfection can be a valuable treasure when it comes to numismatics. This particular flaw, which might have been dismissed by most as just an anomaly, was soon recognized by the keen eyes of collectors. It's important to note that the number of these error coins was incredibly limited. While millions of 1994 dimes were minted that year, only a small fraction carried the distorted reverse design. This small number of error coins, combined with the rarity of finding one in good condition, quickly made the 1994 dime with the distorted reverse a highly coveted item among numismatists. Coin collectors are often drawn to the idea of owning something rare, something that very few people have. The allure of finding a coin that is different from the rest, especially one that has a production error, is what fuels the passion of the hobby. A minting error, like the one that occurred with the 1994 dime, can turn an otherwise ordinary coin into a prized possession. As word spread about the 1994 dime with the distorted reverse, collectors began actively seeking it out. Some searched through rolls of dimes, hoping to stumble upon one of these rare coins. Others turned to online auctions, eager to add this particular coin to their collection. The demand for these dimes began to rise, and with it, their value. At this point, the 1994 dime with the error wasn't just a novelty. It became an object of desire for collectors, who saw the coin as a symbol of rarity, imperfection, and the unpredictable nature of coin production. The coin's value continued to climb, driven by the limited number of error coins still in circulation and the growing interest in owning a piece of this fascinating numismatic story. In the world of rare coins, it's not just about finding a coin that is unusual. It's also about finding one that has been preserved in excellent condition. The better the condition, the higher the value. Coins that are in near mint or uncirculated condition are always the most valuable, and the 1994 dimes with the distorted reverse were no exception. As these coins became more difficult to find in good condition, their market price only increased, with collectors willing to pay top dollar to secure a specimen in pristine form. And then came the big reveal. The 1994 dime with the distorted reverse became known as one of the most valuable dimes in the United States, catching the attention of both seasoned collectors and investors alike. As the demand for the coin grew, its price continued to rise. In recent years, a particularly well-preserved example of the 1994 dime with the distorted reverse error was sold at auction for an incredible $73,000. That's right, $73,000 for a coin that, at first glance, might seem like just another dime. The sale was a testament to the power of rarity in the world of numismatics and a reminder that even the most unassuming items can hold incredible value. For those who are lucky enough to own a 1994 dime with the distorted reverse, it's more than just a coin. It's a symbol of the fascinating world of coin collecting, where a small imperfection can turn an ordinary piece of currency into an extraordinary treasure. So, the next time you find a dime in your pocket, you might want to take a closer look, because you never know when you might be holding a $73,000 coin in your hand. Top 4. In the world of coins, some pieces fly under the radar, while others capture the hearts of collectors with their unique history and subtle characteristics. The 2015 USA 1 dime is one such coin, a simple and humble denomination that may appear insignificant to the average person. But beneath its surface lies an extraordinary story, one of rare charm, production nuances, and, as it turns out, a price tag that might surprise you. While the dime has been a staple of American coinage for centuries, it's important to remember that coins aren't just functional, they're also a reflection of the times. A small coin with great historical significance, the US 1 dime has had various faces over the years, but in 1946, after Franklin D. Roosevelt's passing, his image became forever engraved on the coin, thanks to the work of the renowned artist John R. Sinnock. Sinnock's design, showing Roosevelt's profile on the obverse and a torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse, would become iconic. This design would remain the same on the dime until today, appearing on every dime minted since then, including the 2015 edition. Now, let's take a closer look at the 2015 dime and how it fits into the long tradition of American coinage. By this point, the U.S. Mint had already been producing dimes with Roosevelt's image for nearly 70 years. So, when you first glance at a 2015 dime, you're likely to think it's just another of the millions of dimes that passed through people's hands in 2015. However, as is often the case in the world of numismatics, the story of a coin is never quite as simple as it seems at first. In 2015, the U.S. Mint was actively producing millions of dimes as part of its regular coin production. The design of Roosevelt on the obverse continued to symbolize American resilience and leadership, while the reverse, the torch, olive branch, and oak branch, stood as a lasting emblem of liberty, peace, and strength. But like any large-scale production, small errors and variations sometimes slip through the cracks. These small imperfections or deviations from the norm, as you may already know, are what make coins like the 2015 dime particularly appealing to collectors. You might wonder, what makes a 2015 dime different from the millions of others minted that year? The answer lies in the rarity of certain variations, and in particular, the presence of specific errors or flaws that can turn an otherwise ordinary coin into an extraordinary find. In the case of the 2015 dime, there were a few variations that would capture the attention of coin enthusiasts and collectors. The U.S. Mint, after all, produces millions of coins every year, but sometimes certain coins stand out due to small but significant differences in how they were struck. For example, some of the 2015 dimes were produced with minor minting errors such as slightly misaligned dies or uneven strikes. These imperfections were subtle but noticeable enough for a keen-eyed collector to identify. The Mint's high-speed coin production machines are not infallible, and occasionally, a small deviation in the striking process results in coins that vary just slightly from their intended design. These errors, while often not immediately obvious to the casual observer, are gold mines for collectors, as the rarity of the error can significantly increase the value of the coin. Among these variations, one particularly rare error involved a very small but distinct doubling on the lettering or features of the coin. Doubling happens when a coin is struck more than once, which can create a double impression of certain details. On the 2015 dime, some of the coins produced displayed this doubled effect on the inscriptions or the date. Though such a minor mistake may seem trivial, it is precisely these types of variations that make certain coins so desirable to collectors, particularly those who specialize in error coins. The more subtle and rare the error, the more valuable the coin becomes. In fact, it wasn't long after the 2015 dimes began circulating that collectors started to notice these discrepancies. As news of the error spread, numismatists and hobbyists alike began to actively search for these specific 2015 dimes with doubling or misaligned strikes. The rarity of finding such coins in circulation was what made them all the more appealing. After all, when a coin is misstruck, it's typically considered a flaw, and flaws in mass production often lead to a decrease in the number of those particular coins making it into public hands. Another factor that contributed to the 2015 dime's rising appeal was its condition. In the world of numismatics, the condition of a coin, its wear, its clarity, and its overall state, greatly influences its value. Coins that have been well preserved, free of damage and scratches, are always far more valuable than those that have been used in daily circulation. Over time, some of the 2015 dimes with errors or imperfections were carefully kept in near-perfect condition by collectors who understood their potential value. These coins, which have been shielded from the ravages of time and everyday wear, can fetch a much higher price than their worn counterparts. It's not just the errors or condition of the coin that can impact its value, it's the scarcity. The fact that so few of these 2015 dimes with subtle errors or misalignments exist makes them all the more valuable. As with most rare collectibles, the law of supply and demand applies. The fewer there are of a particular item, the more sought after and valuable it becomes. When a coin like the 2015 dime is discovered to have a rare flaw, its value skyrockets as collectors scramble to find one of their OWN.SO. What is the current value of the 2015 dime with these rare characteristics? While the standard 2015 dimes are worth just 10 cents, the error coins, those with slight misalignments, doubling, or other notable features, are a different story. A well-preserved 2015 dime, especially one with an error like a die misalignment or a doubling effect, has been known to sell for impressive sums at auction. The most coveted examples, those in excellent condition with clear error markings, have fetched as much as $27,000 at auctions. Yes, $27,000 for a coin that originally carried a value of just 10 cents. It's a remarkable example of how rare errors can turn even the most unassuming pieces of currency into highly valuable treasures. The 2015 dime has now become a prime example of how numismatics, collecting and studying coins, can reveal unexpected gems hidden in plain sight. The story of the 2015 dime serves as a reminder that even the smallest imperfections can transform a humble object into a sought-after collectible. So, the next time you find a 2015 dime in your pocket, don't just toss it aside. It might not look like anything special at first glance, but if you take the time to examine it closely, you might be holding a $27,000 coin in your hand. It's one of those rare moments when something that seems insignificant turns out to have extraordinary value. And that's what makes the world of coin collecting so fascinating. There's always the possibility of discovering something truly incredible in the most unexpected places. Top 5. Coins. They're such a familiar part of our daily lives that most of us don't give them a second thought. Yet, beneath the surface, many of these small pieces of currency have fascinating stories and hidden treasures. Among these coins is the 2019 USA 1 dime, a coin that may seem ordinary at first glance but has a surprising value that collectors have been clamoring to get their hands on. To understand why this particular dime has become so desirable, we need to take a step back and explore its design, its place in American history, and the rare circumstances that have made it so valuable today. The dime, as a coin, has long held significance in American currency. Its origins date back to the late 18th century, and its design has evolved over time to reflect the country's changing values and leadership. The most iconic version of the dime, however, is the one we know today. The 10-cent coin has carried the image of Franklin D. Roosevelt since 1946. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, was known for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. After his death, the U.S. Mint chose his portrait to appear on the dime in recognition of his role in shaping the nation. This simple yet powerful design, crafted by artist John R. Sinnock, has been a constant presence on the dime ever since. On the obverse of the coin, we see Roosevelt's image, and on the reverse, a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch, a symbol of liberty, peace, and strength. For decades, this design remained unchanged, becoming one of the most recognized and enduring images in American coinage. But in 2019, something happened. A simple dime, one that was minted as part of the regular coin production for that year, started to gain attention. At first, it seemed like any other dime in circulation, but as the coin passed through the hands of collectors, something extraordinary began to unfold. The The 2019 dime, like many coins before it, was produced in large quantities. The U.S. Mint, tasked with keeping the supply of coins flowing, churned out billions of them to meet the demands of everyday transactions. However, as with any mass production, errors can and do happen, sometimes resulting in coins that deviate from the norm. For most coins, these errors are usually minor. Maybe there's a slight misalignment in the strike, or perhaps a design element is slightly off-center. But in some cases, these minor imperfections can make a coin significantly more valuable. This is what happened with certain 2019 dimes. The coin was produced in such high numbers that one would expect it to be just another in a long line of Roosevelt dimes. However, a small group of dimes from that year featured a unique flaw that set them apart from the rest: an error caused by the die used to strike the coin. This error wasn't immediately obvious to the average person but was clear to the discerning eye of a collector. The error that would come to define the 2019 dime had to do with the mint mark. Mint marks are small letters found on most U.S. coins, indicating the location where the coin was minted. Typically, these mint marks appear near the coin's date, and they help collectors trace the coin's origins. For the 2019 dime, the mint marks that were supposed to be placed were incorrectly stamped, causing some of the coins to have misplaced or double mint marks. Now, for most people, a misplaced mint mark on a coin might seem like a minor mistake that has little bearing on the coin's value. But in the world of coin collecting, an error like this can elevate a coin from being just another dime to something truly special. The rarity of these error coins, combined with the fact that they are in limited circulation, quickly piqued the interest of numismatists and collectors. The 2019 dimes with this mint mark error became a hot commodity. Collectors who specialize in error coins know that even the smallest flaw can make a significant difference in a coin's value. In fact, it's these imperfections, whether a slight misprint or a complete misalignment, that can transform an everyday coin into a highly sought-after collector's item. These error coins are rare, and in the world of numismatics, rarity drives value. But the 2019 dime didn't just attract attention because of the mint mark error. There was another important factor that contributed to its growing desirability: its condition. As with any collectible item, the state in which it is preserved can greatly impact its value. Coins that are kept in pristine condition, free from scratches, dents, or other signs of wear, are far more valuable than those that have been used in circulation. In the case of the 2019 dime, collectors quickly realized that many of the error coins had been kept in excellent condition. The circumstances of their discovery: the coins had only just been minted and hadn't yet been widely circulated, meant that many of them were still in near mint or uncirculated condition. This fact made the error coins even more appealing, as collectors know that condition is one of the most important factors when determining a coin's worth. And then there's the fact that the 2019 dime, like all coins, had a relatively small face value, just 10 cents. While that might seem insignificant at first glance, it's precisely this low value that makes the 2019 dime so interesting to collectors. When a coin with such a low face value ends up being worth far more, it's a sign that something truly rare and unique has occurred. The humble dime, with its small denomination, can go from being worth only a few cents in everyday use to being worth thousands of dollars due to an error in the minting process. So, what exactly is the value of the 2019 USA 1 dime today? It's remarkable to think that a coin originally worth just 10 cents can fetch such a high price, but the demand for these error coins has caused their value to skyrocket. The 2019 dimes with the mint mark error, particularly those in pristine condition and with well-preserved features, have been known to sell for as much as $12,000 at auction. Yes, you heard that correctly, $12,000 for a coin that you could easily overlook if you weren't paying attention. The rarity, the error, and the condition of these coins have made them incredibly valuable in the eyes of collectors. In fact, these coins are now considered one of the most valuable modern dimes in the U.S. coinage market. It's a stunning example of how something as small as a mint mark error can turn an ordinary coin into a rare and valuable treasure. For collectors, the 2019 dime with the mint mark error has become a must-have item, one that offers a glimpse into the fascinating world of numismatics and the surprising value that can lie within even the most mundane of coins. So, the next time you come across a 2019 dime, take a moment to inspect it closely. You may just be holding a $12,000 coin in your hand. It's a reminder that in the world of coin collecting, the smallest details can make the biggest difference, and that every coin has a story to tell.